All right, let's dive deep into the Lakers and their potential interest in the Brooklyn Nets draft assets. Brooklyn finds themselves sitting on an impressive stash of picks this upcoming draft, holding the 8th, 19th, 26th, 27th, and even the 36th pick, which is technically a second-rounder, but right at the start of that round, essentially. They have nearly 5 first-round selections, with one barely slipping into the second round, but it's close enough to consider it almost a first-round asset. This kind of draft capital is rare to come by, especially from a single team, and it's bound to attract serious attention from contenders looking to rebuild or retool. Now, when you think about the Lakers, it's obvious they're in a phase where adding young, promising talent through the draft could be crucial. The question is, would they really go after all 5 of those picks? Drafting 5 players in the first round alone is almost unheard of. The Nets seem poised to hit the reset button, clearing out pieces and starting fresh. But bringing in that many rookies at once comes with big challenges. Integrating that much young talent, potentially a third of your roster, requires making room, which often means waiving current players or orchestrating multiple moves to fit everyone in. It's not just about the picks themselves. It's about the logistics of building a cohesive team afterward. If Brooklyn were to trade Nick Claxton or Cam Johnson, the Lakers would have to take on contracts, too. It's not a simple 1-for-1 swap. Taking on players' salaries means juggling the roster and managing the salary cap carefully. For Brooklyn, it's unlikely they'll bring in 5 rookies and expect all of them to stick around for the season opener. Most likely, they'll look to flip 2 or so of those picks, possibly the 27th and the 36th, while keeping the 8th, 19th, and 26th. According to reports, they're even shopping the 19th pick alongside Cam Johnson in an attempt to move up in the draft and secure 2 lottery picks. So far, nothing concrete has emerged, but the potential moves remain on the table. This whole situation opens up an interesting discussion around Austin Reaves. I tossed his name out briefly in the previous breakdown, but it's worth digging into further. I've been pretty critical of Austin Reaves in the past. There's been talk about trading him and questioning his ceiling. But I also recognize that he's a solid player, not a superstar, but certainly valuable. Players with similar profiles often fetch the first-round picks, especially in today's market where teams are chasing potential and upside. Take Rui Hachimura, for example. He's moved for a first-round pick in the right scenario, so the idea that Austin Reaves could command a first-round pick isn't far-fetched. Looking at the Spurs, who hold the 2nd overall pick, it's a compelling angle to consider. Would San Antonio trade the 2nd and 14th picks for Austin Reaves? Probably not, since that's a high price to pay for a player of his caliber. But would Brooklyn be willing to part with the 8th and 19th picks in exchange for Austin Reaves? That's a more plausible scenario. If Brooklyn keeps the 26th, 27th picks, Austin Reaves, and the 36th pick, they still maintain a lot of draft capital and young talent, while gaining a proven contributor in Reaves. Of course, salary matching would be a factor. A trade involving Austin Reaves would require adding salary fillers, maybe players like Nick Claxton, Durant or Zaire Williams to make the math work. Brooklyn would need to take back at least 2 or 3 players to balance salaries, and the Lakers would have to be comfortable managing those contracts. Still, I think a deal like that makes sense for the Lakers. They get a center for now and the future in Nick Claxton and possibly another young athlete like Zaire Williams, while using the 8th pick to draft a promising player like Malik Beasley or Derek Queen. Drafting a center with the 8th pick while having Claxton as the starting big man is a strategy that could pay dividends. You avoid redundancy and get versatility on the roster. Adding a 3-and-D wing with the 19th pick further rounds out the team's needs. This approach balances immediate impact with long-term growth. Brooklyn's motivations are clear, too. They get a proven player in Austin Reaves who can step into a leading role and help evaluate their core moving forward. Reaves has averaged nearly 28 points and 8 assists when LeBron James isn't on the floor, which is impressive. Brooklyn would have a year to see if Reaves fits their timeline as a number 1 or 2 option. Ultimately, it's doubtful Brooklyn drafts all 5 players and keeps them all. Trades and roster adjustments will follow the draft, as they often do. Even if the Lakers acquire Nick Claxton in a deal, they'll need to send out multiple players to clear space and balance salaries. The same goes for any Cam Johnson trade. If the Lakers could get the 8th, 19th, and 36th picks along with Nick Claxton and Cam Johnson by trading Austin Reaves and some other assets, I'd say that's a deal worth pursuing. You're securing the foundational pieces. A young center with starting potential and a versatile wing, plus multiple draft picks to build around them. It's about creating a core for the future while maintaining flexibility from a roster building standpoint. Keeping Claxton as the starting center and drafting wings to complement him makes the most sense. You don't want to draft another center who might end up coming off the bench for years. While Claxton develops, players like Durant, Collins Murray, or Derek Queen could fill those wing spots effectively. You want young athletes who bring defense, length, and shooting to balance the team. On the financial side, these trades would likely require careful salary matching and cap management. The Lakers might be hard-capped regardless, which could impact their ability to sign free agents or make other moves. Still, if LeBron James is willing to adjust his expectations for the team's long-term benefit, that could open up additional opportunities. All in all, this potential trade scenario with Brooklyn represents a chance for the Lakers to reset and add promising pieces without fully committing to a rebuild. They get draft capital, a young center with starting potential, and a solid wing in Austin Reaves, all while maintaining enough flexibility to continue competing. It's a balancing act, but one that could pay off if executed well. Brooklyn benefits by acquiring a proven player who can help them transition. While holding onto some draft assets, the Lakers gain flexibility, depth, and a chance to build around key pieces. It's a complex situation with lots of moving parts, but definitely one worth following closely as the draft approaches and more details emerge. The draft is always a gamble, especially beyond the top 10 picks, but accumulating picks in young talent is the best way to build sustained success in today's NBA, whether or not this deal happens. The Lakers and Nets are both at interesting crossroads, each trying to find their path forward in a rapidly changing league landscape. Continuing from where we left off, the situation between the Lakers and the Nets is really a fascinating chess match with lots of strategic moves to consider. Brooklyn's abundance of picks gives them a rare kind of leverage, but managing that many draft selections also means they have to be smart about their roster construction moving forward. The idea of bringing in 5 rookies in a single draft cycle is highly impractical, especially given the salary cap constraints and the limited number of roster spots available. Brooklyn knows this, so the likelihood of them using every pick and retaining all those young players is low. Instead, packaging some picks in trades to acquire established players or to move up in the draft seems like a smarter, more manageable approach for the Lakers. The opportunity lies in leveraging their assets like Austin Reaves and possibly trading future picks to secure a handful of high-value selections and young talent like Nick Claxton. Reaves has proven to be a reliable and versatile contributor, but his ceiling might not be at superstar level. Still, his value on the trade market could be significant enough to bring back multiple first-round picks, especially from a team like Brooklyn that is aiming to reset. By acquiring Claxton, the Lakers get a young center who can anchor their defense for years to come, a position they desperately need to solidify. Drafting wings to complement Claxton with the other picks allows the Lakers to build a more balanced, versatile roster. Salary considerations will play a crucial role in any potential deal. The Lakers must be prepared to take on some contracts, but managing the cap is always a puzzle in today's NBA. If they can clear space elsewhere or creatively maneuver their exceptions, these trades become even more feasible. Meanwhile, Brooklyn would get an immediate contributor in Reaves and have the flexibility to develop remaining draft picks or use them as future trade chips. This combination of short-term talent and long-term assets is what many teams look for during a rebuild or reset phase. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on, in what could become one of the most talked about moves in recent NBA history, whispers around the league suggest that Kevin Durant may be on his way to the Los Angeles Lakers. While no official statement has been made by either Durant's camp or the Lakers organization, multiple sources close to the situation have indicated that the possibility is more than just smoke. It might be the start of a blazing fire. Durant, currently under contract, has reportedly grown frustrated with the inconsistency and lack of playoff success with his current team. Though he remains one of the league's top scorers and a future Hall of Famer, his championship window is not getting any wider. The allure of teaming up with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, both veterans hungry for another ring, could be too strong to resist. Lakers insiders have been unusually quiet this offseason, which some interpret as a sign that something big is brewing behind closed doors. The franchise has a history of pulling off major trades and free agency coups, and adding Durant would certainly fall in line with that tradition. The cap space maneuvering required to make such a deal happen would be complex, but not impossible, especially if other stars are willing to take pay cuts. In pursuit of another championship banner, there's also talk of mutual respect between Durant and LeBron, despite years of on-court rivalry. Sources suggest the two superstars have been in communication this offseason, fueling speculation that this partnership might already be in the works. One anonymous league executive stated, "Where there's smoke, there's usually fire. Don't be surprised if this becomes real before training camp." Until then, it remains a tantalizing possibility, a what-if scenario that has fans and analysts alike buzzing. Durant in the purple and gold, it's not confirmed, but it's certainly not out of the question. Stay tuned, stay informed. Exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.